Episode 8 of the On the Air podcast starring you and today's guest from Decatur, Georgia, Vietnam War veteran, National Guard sergeant. He's a retired corrections officer, a mechanic, a heating and air conditioning technician, a locksmith, and notary public. He's a master of all jobs, but none greater than being my dad. Please welcome Johnny Gresham. All right, so today, on today's show, we have my pops, the old man, Sergeant Johnny B. Gresham. I had that right, Sergeant, right?
Well, I ain't sergeant now. I was when I was in the service.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. But so, well, you don't. I mean, they don't take that from you. That like when you leave, they're like you can't be called sergeant. Like you, sergeant.
Oh, we do that because I knew the first sergeant. I see him now, and we call him Top. You know, what's up, Top?
Hey, that's
the same thing. We call the first sergeant Top.
That's what the lingo. That's the lingo.
Yeah, they have a nickname like Captain Cap. You know, but first sergeant when you deal with more time, you know.
Yeah.
Top sergeant or Top.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what it is. What made you think, you know.
What made you want to go into the Army in the first place? Because you were in Vietnam.
I didn't really. I was drafted.
Okay.
But when I got drafted, I was curious as to what it was like. You know, you want to do something, and then you really don't want to. You didn't want to leave your home, but you figure, well, it's something different. You kind of want to know what it's like, but you didn't want to know what it was like. Mm-hmm. And since you was in there, you might well go on and learn stuff. And, you know, after that, you said, well, you wouldn't take nothing for the experience you had. It's a different life. It's like kind of like that movie, A Different World from where you come from. Mm-hmm. And once you get there, you come out, you're a different person altogether. You're more, you know, briefing on the world and everything, and you're more open-minded about stuff, and you're more wiser. How
different was the world for you before you went in versus after you came out?
Well, we used to my surrounding, but when I went out there, I got a chance to meet different people and see how they live, and then you start doing the little stuff the Army way, and it teaches you a lot of things about being a man and how to be responsible for things without depending on somebody for every little thing. Mm. You learn a lot because you're doing more or less stuff on your own. They put you in a position where you have to make a decision. It teach you how to be your own man. And with that, you know, being said, you come back, you don't depend on nobody for nothing. If I'm walking and you decide you don't want to give no ride, I said, well, the world is round. I'll get there. You know, you don't, well, man, please give me a ride. You don't beg me, it's okay. You know, so what the heck? 1,000 years from now, it's all over with.
Yeah.
But you don't depend on nobody but yourself. If something got to be done, if you don't do it, it don't get done.
Is that what the Army taught you, independence?
Yeah, they teach you that. You don't depend on nobody in there, but you're all together as a group. So if something go down, you work as a team. But now, if you depend on somebody, nobody would ever get anything done. Mm-hmm. You got to go for yourself. He go for himself. But you're a team to pull on the job together.
How do you have the mindset of being an individual when it seems like you have to, you got to look for someone to look out for you when you're in the trenches, kind of.
There's teamwork there. Mm. Kind of like when we were over there to move the man chair. Mm-hmm. I could have just sent you over there, pulled a rank on you, and said, Corey, go move that chair for that man. Mm-hmm. But no, I went too, but I didn't know how big the chair was. But we were at the job together. You know, I had to work along with side people that didn't care nothing about. But I was focused on doing my job. He was focused on doing his. Mm. In most time, that's the way they train you. If everybody focused on doing their job, you can work together. Never say anything to the man, but you're doing your job.
Was there a lot of... I know back home, before you went in, it was, you know, they're heavy into racism. When you got into the Army, you were working alongside, you know, blacks, whites, mm-hmm. what have you. Mm-hmm. Was it just as prevalent? I want to say inside, but I don't want it to sound like it's in jail. But like, was it more was it also as prevalent when you were in the Army?
Yeah, they kept a lot of it hid. But when you got out there with the rest of them, you know the prejudice guys and everything. But it was all the same Army.
But you needed to count on them the same way they needed to count on you.
Right. But they had their prejudice moments, you know. It's like when you out with the boys and you go home, you know, but when you back out with them, you what they do, you know. But you know it's there, so you decide you stay your ground. But if it's on a team thing, everybody do the. But they still had it, you know. They would always show favoritism toward each other at some point. But a lot of things they had to do together. And they had a funny way of doing things. If white boy and I got in a fight, they would punish you if it was severe, you know, hood up each other real bad. But if a little squabble and y'all have a little fisticuffs, they put you on the job together. So you have to depend on each other. And so I had that same thing happen to me. They had a racial thing. I busted him loose. And they put us on guard duty together. I looked at him and said, you take the first watch? No, you take the first watch. We didn't go to sleep. We sat back to back. Did not go to sleep.
Why? Because
I didn't trust him. He didn't trust me.
So wait. So you punched. What did you hit him? You hit him in the face?
Yeah, that's where you hit him, man. Square in the face with that big old fist.
So you punched the man in the face.
Mm-hmm. Knocked him up on the table.
And they put y'all on guard duty together.
Yeah, they're not that same day, but they know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put whatever's got going there. They put you on it together. It showed that, like the movie Defiant One,
mm-hmm.
they didn't care for each other, but they had to pull together to get what they wanted to get.
Yeah.
So they'll put you on something together now. Whatever, if it ain't no peeling potatoes or digging a ditch or whatever, they put you, look, you leave your race was different at home, but we got a job to do. And that's what they look at, but they didn't tell you. They just put you on, they put on the roster, y'all. We'll God do it together.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it. Now, how you do it is up to you. You want to take the first watch? I said, no, I won't take it because they ain't going to hurt me. And he thought the same way, but I'm going to get him, you know.
Yeah.
So we sat back to back. So we got transported around different places. And I saw him again in Cameron Bay. He saw me, question, take care, man. But it teaches you, you can't hit him for life. You got to do it. You might be prejudiced, sure enough, but still, you got to do what you got to do together to survive.
Yeah.
They got a lot of situations they put you in, but you got to depend on that person. He got to depend on you. What's
another thing that the Army taught you, other than independence?
It taught you how to be your own man. It taught you how to survive if you needed to. Remember the time when all the power was off and y'all left home?
Yeah.
And you came back and the food was cooked and you said how you do it?
Yeah.
Field fortification.
Yeah.
All I needed was a big old pot boiling water.
I don't know how you did it. It was so for those listening, the power went out. So we had a gas stove, didn't we? Not a gas stove, we had an electric stove.
Yeah, but I was outside with that big
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I was thinking like, all right, so he couldn't have cooked it on the stove because we got an electric stove and the power is out.
Mm-hmm.
Can use a microwave, of course the power is out. But when I came back, we had what? We had hot dogs and chili.
Yeah, you came back and you ate with me?
Yeah, it was so good. It looked, when I looked at the setup, it looked like it was a chemistry set. Like it had some big silver thing. And
mm-hmm.
So how did you set that up? Like how?
It's called adapt and overcome.
Okay.
You had field fortification. Everything is done outside. You're away from all the modern stuff. Mm-hmm. You have it there, but you got in the field. That's survival course, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Field fortification. I got in storage now, a little cookout thing. Mm-hmm. That little thing where you do low boil and stuff on. I fired it up. I had my tank there. A big pot of boiling water, all I needed. I dipped out of that, made my cream potatoes. Okay, then I had another little thing. While the water was boiling, I took the can of poking beans, left them in the can, didn't open it, set them in the hot water.
Oh, you cooked them inside the can?
Yeah. We used to do that on those tank at the field. Yeah. Them canned goods in them packages. We put over in a big old bucket with them canister around come in, fill it full of water. Drop all your canned goods in there. Hang it on the back of that engine, on that motor, while it's running. That big hot engine on that big tank will boil that stuff. The exhaust coming out, heat it up. It start boiling. We get to the tongue, reach in there and pull the cans out. Open it up. It's hot, just like when you pour it on a pot.
And I couldn't taste the difference. No. It was.
Didn't have no water with it. Natural juicing. But you heat it in water if you hate on. Just to open it with a fire under it, it would have busted it. Mm-hmm. Water is like they do on a steam table. Mm-hmm. You put the stuff over a steam, don't burn it. You put that in a can of hot water. You make it just nice and hot inside. You pour it in a plate. Hot dogs, same way. You boil your hot dogs.
Yeah.
You can always count on hot dogs and poking beans to survive.
One thing we had the food. He definitely had a way of making it if we didn't have power.
And cream potatoes.
Cream potatoes and hot dog. We definitely didn't go without. So that was
amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little fold-up stove, and when we were at the National Guard with Lemon, he'd always find one of the big round cans and punch holes in it. That was his stove. You punch holes in the bottom of it and put a little V in the sides so that you have air. Make one little fire, set it over it, set your can on top of it. Whatever cans you got, sit on top of it, heat it up.
So that's right. You and Mr. Lemon was in the
He was in the Navy. I was in the Army, but we joined all that got together when in the National Guard.
Oh, okay.
That's what made him at. See, we would want that was extra money for us.
Do you remember what it was like when you first met him?
Yeah, I was reading water meters, and I was over in his area, and he was coming home from work that evening. And I saw where he lived. He was in the same unit, but I didn't know who he was. And I saw him.
You've seen him before?
Yeah, we was in the same unit, but I didn't know who he was. And I just had to see him when he come home in the Volkswagen and put him in the driveway. So we was out one day just kicking around at the platoon. And I said, I had the book reading meeting. I saw his name was Lemon. I told him where he lived and everything. He said, man, no, I live at and everything. I told him, you got a little Volkswagen. He said, how you know all that? And I told him I worked for and everything. I was coming out that way one day he was going home. And we was on the same platoon. And we just started, we talked to each other straight up. And we grew to be good friends, me, him, and Paula. Mm-hmm. And we went to places like down to Fort Gordon. And we'd always end up, your partners going, we'd end up right together. And we still, Army talk and stuff. We were changing uniform because he was Navy, man. We were trying to put on uniform and that kind of stuff and how you dress it up. And we'd always pull together doing a little crazy stuff, And we got to be real good friends.
Do you ever, well, maybe not so much now, but do you ever miss, or did you ever miss being in the service?
If I hadn't went to Vietnam, I'd have probably missed it, because it'd been nice to make a career. But it's like...
I mean, like, when you left, like, was there a part of you was like, I want to go back in? Like, I always hear these stories about people...
I didn't want to go back in. It wasn't the outfit I wanted to be in. If I had been in the Navy or something, I would have... It's just a different. Army is like, you're on the street. You just do whatever's there to be done. Unless you got an education and go into certain areas. Now, see, Air Force or Navy, when you come out your basic training, you had a job to do. If you worked in the laundry, that's where you went every day. Out there in the Army, unless you're an officer or working in a medic or something, they had had a profession. It was something you could do, you could enjoy it. That's why a lot of people in there now doing it because they have a certain thing they do. Mm-hmm. If I had been OCS, Academy, I didn't know anything about that kind of stuff that I went in service. The guy went there, how you be a lieutenant? He asked, sir, what the? I ain't know beans about this stuff. And then I got the little book and started reading up on the rank and everything. And he just come out the academy, he done graduated.
Couldn't wait to tell somebody to tell him, sir.
So I said, hey, look at him, I'll let you a minute, Don't you know a second lieutenant when you see one? I looked at him and said, I was just getting that basic training. I didn't know what was going on. Mm-hmm. I looked around. I ain't seen one.
What does one look like?
Then I didn't know. Then something told me to salute him. I just started reading up on. They started telling us about the insignias. They had a little tattoo with all the insignias on there. But him, green, white boy, he wanted to be up there, Mm-hmm. And someone like to put, we have more problem about them second Louis because they just come out of the academy. Asked Lieutenant so-and-so, sir, they were hung up on that stuff. Okay, so we got hip to that, learn a lot of stuff. We thought aggravated the devil out of them. Mm-hmm. Walk down the street and salute with your left hand. By the time he realized what's going on, you out of sight.
So what does that mean when you salute with your left hand?
Right hand.
Okay, you use right hand. So left hand, he ain't really, okay, I got you. He just thought it was all the same. Like he didn't catch it.
Yeah, if I said, we budget and grab your left hand and shake it. Or use my right hand, like that. Mm-hmm. But we out of sight then.
When you went in, when you were drafted, how many kids did you have at home?
Let's see. You and Bunny wasn't born until I got out of service.
Yeah. We was years later. It was probably another 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
So how many you had at home?
Laura, Dexter, Ron.
1, 2, 3.
Nina.
4.
Dee Dee.
5.
Sally. And Mickey.
Oh, so all 7 except so my dad has 9 kids. I'm the youngest of his 9. Did they? How did they understand what was happening? Like they were little. They had to be
small.
younger at the time.
They were small. No, they didn't know what they know. All they knew was I was in the army. I never talked to them about it until them got older. I talked to them about stuff, but all they knew was I come home to see them, and everything.
What about their mom and their grandma?
Yeah, they understood.
Were they on your side with it, or how did they?
No, not really. But she couldn't sign the paper, and I wouldn't have to go in, but the children were small. But
did they want you to go? Like, what was it?
Well, she had to say so, but she said, well, she didn't want to sign the papers, so evidently. See, well, maybe you can learn something from that, or something. You know how some people just they don't care.
Mm-hmm. All right, so how many years were you in the Army?
Yeah, 2 years in the Army and 4-year reserve, so that's 6 years altogether. And like when I joined National Guard, that was straight 6 years automatically.
Any medals?
Huh?
Did you get any medals?
You get the regular medals that you have. Remember the little ribbon I gave you?
Mm-hmm.
That you get that when you do you got the Vietnam thing. They're all in one line. You get for so many different things, or whatever area you was in, you get all the different little things.
Okay.
So I got that little ribbon there.
What was did you have like a specialty? Was there something that you were specifically responsible for doing and that you were good at in the Army?
I wanted to learn a lot of stuff that they wouldn't let me get into. So we was in a combat engineer, and I learned a lot of stuff from that too. Combat engineering.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of work in it, but you learn from it, like building bridges and a lot of stuff like that. If I had made a career out of there, I'd learn a lot more about it, because they had those manuals on everything. Got a manual on everything, from how to tie your shoes all the way up to building a bridge or whatever. Go get a manual on. So the Jeeps, everything had a manual to it. I wanted to get into diesel mechanicing, but then you had tests as well. They'll give you a big rush test. Okay, this is what you qualify for. And okay, this man, like they rush you through a test or something, whatever you created at that, that's what they put you in. Okay, you qualify for engineering. I'm thinking I'm going to be at a table drafting and stuff like that. They don't tell you, they throw you there. And you get out there, you're looking for a desk. They give you all that stuff to put on, and you combat engineer.
They just told you what you were.
Yeah, because you don't be knowing what you like when you first go into school. They throw you a book. You are so and so, so and so. I never heard of combat engineer. I thought engineer was from out of school. They're drafted and drawn up plans and stuff like that. I figured I could learn something from that. They don't tell you they want to draft you and get you in there. So when I got into it, they trained us and set it off to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and all that stuff that they had for that. All the heavy bridges and all them different little things and demolition and stuff. And learn a lot about that stuff. But I wanted something I could take home with me. Like some of the guys, they would let them operate the equipment like tractors and stuff, bulldozers and stuff like that in it. They had most of the white boys doing it. They didn't let none of us get into none of that stuff. So, you had a little prejudice about it. But I learned a lot of stuff on my own. If you're around an area, you get in there and you start working at it, So.
What's one thing you found that you were actually good at doing that you probably had to learn or scrap for yourself?
The mechanic and diesel stuff, I learned a lot of bits and pieces of that. I learned how to work those air compressors and a lot of stuff. I learned how to operate a forklift. I Googled that forklift. When I was down at Fort McClellan, the summer camp. I operate the forklift. I got certain paper right up for that, recommendations and everything. And when I was at National Guard, I used to load the equipment when we go for summer camp. Crashing with forklift. They like the way I operate it. I turn and the bucket, the boom be coming down as I go. I go around and raise it back up by the time I get there, And they get a kick out of me. They watch me load, stuff like that.
When you were in the Army, did you ever get close to anybody that ended up dying?
We had a lieutenant. He was from Chicago.
How did that? What happened?
They were
what
taking shotgun charges out of the woods. The enemy they had them putting out little. They call them shotgun charges with little bombs.
Yeah.
And he was out there. They were taking them, moving them out the way. And one was there by him and went off, blew them away.
Were y'all close?
He was a pretty good lieutenant. And they tell you not to get too close to people because when you get killed or something, it hurt you.
Well, how did that being your first time? Kind of take me through how you took it. Like what happened?
We all took it pretty good. We all took up a collection, sent it to his family and everything, you know. But out of all them different lieutenants out there, he was a second lieutenant, but he was a straight up type dude, you know.
I know it's kind of a weird question to ask, but did
only weird question is one you don't ask.
Well, there you go. Did death sort of? Did you guys sort of get numb to death?
When I first got there, I was a little scared. But it's like I seen you outside where you were small and pitch dog. You didn't go out there by yourself. With your buddies, y'all get out there and get your pocket full of rocks and take off.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing out there. You get to talking to somebody junk, carrying you forget about the wall. You hear a shot, everybody learn. They teach you how to hit the ground. You don't know where it's coming from when you hit the ground. And when I came back, I'd rather walk in the dark than to walk in the light. But it's something you pick up as you go. They teach you how to hit the ground when you hear a shot. In fact, we don't know where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But you think about it a lot of times when you don't get scared to go out the field. You know, you just don't wander off too far from your company. Because you know they were out there for real.
Yeah.
But you just didn't think about it.
So, all right. So, well, let me back up a little. What was basic training like for you? Because this was a whole new world for you. How long was it?
When you first leave home, you never done that kind of stuff. They start dogging you out and making you tough, you know, getting you used to harsh words and stuff. That was the part that I hated.
What would they
talking
say?
To you real rough.
What would they say? What would they say to you, Dad?
Oh, they would cuss at you and call you a soldier, you know, do this and that, you know. It was on you, but it was part of the training. And you being new at it, you know, you just left home, you green. You're like a little kid out in the open. And they start cussing that, where are you going? You know,
what was the worst thing they, and you can cuss on this podcast if you want to. What was the worst? What was the worst thing somebody said when he said to you?
Basically, certain sergeants were deep in that stuff. That Sergeant Saunders, you'll never forget him.
What was his name, then?
Sergeant Saunders. Big dude, man.
You remember his name?
Oh, yeah, I remember all of them. Sergeant Morgan, all of them. But they're just certain ones.
What did he say?
He had a heavy voice. And he dropped, soldier, give me 25 push-ups. You ever take them 25 push-ups? It's just a lot of little, they just talk to you, dog you out, you know. And
what was the first time this happened to you?
When they flip in your face, you know.
The first time somebody got in your face and kind of just talked down to you, what was your first reaction? The very first time?
You feel bad because you know nobody running to back you up. And everybody's scared to death because they're in basic new recruits, you know. Mm-hmm. And they were talking to all of them that way, but what they were trying to do is break you in because the enemy going to dog you out too.
Right.
That was the whole process, but they don't tell you all that in the beginning. If they tell you that, then you looking over here, they just trying to scare you, you know. Mm-hmm. They hit you by surprise. Like when we first got there, the driver of the bus that picked us up, he knew what was going on, but he didn't say that. He goes over to the place, passed right by it a little bit, like from here to the street down there. He hollered back, hey, where's A Company? So here come the drill sergeant out there with sticks and stuff, beating on the bus. Get to you know, the hell you doing sitting up there? We had our duffel bag and everything. We come over running like somebody at us. They beating on the bus and running at us. Move out. What do you think this is? Get to we got to run upstairs with the package and everything. We scared. We know what to do. You know, we're just scared. So finally, it just slowly come to you, you know, but you didn't like it because you had a lot of things you wasn't used to doing. You get up when you want to at home. Mm-hmm. Get up out, you know, on that dumb bun. Get up out that bed. Do it. What the hell you think? You ain't at home. Go to the kitchen. Give me 5. You stand there at attention, got ready for parade rest. You got 5 to go in there. You go. I said 5, then get your hands out of here. Soldier, you know, like that. All up in, you get smart on them, they all up in your face, you know.
Yeah.
They teaching you about discipline and stuff, you know.
You so you're in the middle of you're away from home. You're in the middle of a war zone. You're in enemy territory. Mm-hmm. I imagine there are things that you guys would have to do to keep each other uplifted, to try to keep the mood positive.
You pull together, man.
What sort of things would you guys do for fun or for entertainment? Because all you had was each other.
Okay, you get it all together there. First off, they start off in basic. Mm-hmm. Then you go to AIT, Advanced Infantry Training. Mm-hmm. And then you go into another, like going in school. Mm-hmm. You're scared when you first go to school. You're in the first grade. You don't know what's going on. Then you move to the second, and you're kind of waking up. Then third, fourth, you know, and then you got your friends and stuff like that. It was a graduated thing like that. And whoever outfit you was in a barracks, all of it in the barracks together. Ain't no walls or nothing like that. The big open, it was a whole bunch of beds. And finally, you just get together, start talking. We get to shiny shoes in the afternoon. Start talking to your brothers about home. Where you from back in the world, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you just make friends as you go along. And then they had the PX, you go down there and look at the magazines or buy a few things and walk back and talk to people. Then
was there like any activities you would, and I guess your
yeah, they had movies on the base. You can go to a movie or something. When you on the base while you was on, you couldn't go off the base because you wasn't permanent duty status. And they kept everything on base. You want to go to PX, so just throw they march you down there, and you go to a movie. They march you down there. And everybody go to the movie. They had a little bit of stuff for recreation to kind of relax you a little bit. Mm. Then when wasn't nothing happening, like on the weekend, everybody kicking it and laughing and talking, and you had radios and cameras, you play your radio, stuff like that, Mm. You had a little thing you can put in your duffel bag, and you didn't put a whole lot of stuff like you setting up housekeeping. So they had you on to keeping everything neat and all that kind of stuff.
What year did you leave to go back home?
I got back in 68, November 68.
What year was
66, and when the Vietnam thing was hitting.
King was shot in 60.
King was shot in 63.
King was shot in 63. So you were in the army when
before I went in.
That was before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the convoy during the Cuban crisis. So they had convoys running everywhere. They had a lot of them going down Compton Highway. I kind of wanted to be in one, but I didn't know what all you had to go through to get in there. All them GI going down through there all neat with the guns and everything. Mm-hmm. And they were getting all lined up to go over there, And you saw convoy where you turn to, like in a combat zone, you see gun, army trucks and everything. And you see it, you say, I'd like to be in something like that. You want to be in, but then again, you don't want to be in that.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea, in peacetime, you're different. When you get set to go in a war zone, nobody wanted to go there. They joined me, but yeah, you're going to Nam, you're going to this, talking junk, So we went. And after you get over there, you look around everywhere, hot place, and then you get talking to other guys already there. I say, well, man, you get hit all over, bang, just that quick, some of you, once you get on, you get used to, like, say, when you first leave home. Mm-hmm. You say, well, I'm here now. What the heck, I got to shift for my own gears,
So, 68, you go back home. What were you expecting to find versus what you found when you got back to American soil?
I was hoping to find a better job. Shoot, the dude that didn't go in, didn't get drafted, had all the best jobs. And it makes you feel kind of down. You done fought for your country and can't even find a job. Even when you go find something, they offering you $3 an hour. Not to piss you off, I went back to my old job, but it wasn't paying that much for one.
What was the old job? That was the...
At the water department.
Okay.
I wasn't reading meters then, doing a little messenger work, and cleaning up. And you figure you want to learn something so you can bring back home with you. And I knew how to work a machine gun, but hey, what good is that out here? So your first thing, okay, how much your training you got? Your first mission to grab the gun. But I was thinking they were going to teach you. Everybody don't learn everything. And then some people learn how to drive 18-wheelers, some work in the motor pools, some be working different places, supplies and stuff like that. But if you didn't, I was a dropout anyway, so I had to take a GED and I missed that, so I missed that. I didn't make it, I didn't pass on that. So without that, that's why I was so rough on you and Dick and all of them, because they say you get that because you can't go nowhere without it. But they would try to get you to get a GED, but if they don't try to help you, ain't that class you take. You just go in there and take a test.
But you eventually went, got into a college for a trades program, the Cab Tech, right?
Yeah, after I got out of service, I wanted to go to school and, take up something. So I went out there, most of my buddy was out the Cab Tech. So I took up drafting. Then I took up a short course of real estate, and I said, I'm going to welding. So I took up that, and I just want to take a little stuff where I could do. I was enjoying myself, And then later on, I wanted to get into a small engine repair, but that wasn't offered at the time. But I was enjoying the drafting and stuff, and I got a chance to go to college. I wanted to go. It was kind of like a college, but I wanted to go, so I got a chance to get into that, Mm-hmm. But I didn't like going in a college because I didn't like sitting up in no class or doing office work. But I liked that, and I took heating and that because I could do things with my hand. I like doing stuff like that. So I learned a lot from that.
I can't remember. Were you married before you went into the Army? Or did you get married afterwards?
I was married before me.
You
two children, Mom.
All right. So, and she was she passed, right? She died.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I had married Jackie then.
Can we talk about her passing? Yeah. I don't really remember. Well, I remember because I wasn't here, but I don't know the timetables of when certain things happened. Did she die when you were in the Army?
Mm-mm.
She died after you came out.
Yeah.
And talk to us about what happened. How she. What do you know about her passing?
Well, we had broke up, and she was dating this other guy, and they were living out in the state of them together, kind of near where Sally used to live at, back out in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sally and they favored him more than they did me, because y'all wouldn't let them tell me what to do. So they got in some kind of mess. He came in and he shot her. So that's what happened there. He shot and killed her. And she would come with Nina's hair. The bullet went over Nina's head.
For those listening, he mentioned two names. Sally is my sister, and Nina is my sister. So what he's saying is her mom was doing her hair, and the guy came in and shot her, right?
Mm-hmm. You want to talk to them, they don't want to fool with you, that kind of stuff, and he shot her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so how did... Obviously, you were devastated by it. I mean, y'all weren't together.
They were running all together. The children was little, and they were running all over the place and what to do, what. And when I said, well, we had to band together,
What was your mindset? Was you like, let me go and find this dude? Like, how were you?
Oh, yeah.
Because you were fresh out the Army. You were still young. You were brash.
Yeah, I wanted to, but they had him in jail. And down in Gwinnett, kind of her cousin knew they was on it tight too. They were, so wasn't nothing to do then. He was in jail, so it just one of them things,
How long?
You want to do stuff.
What do you say to your children after that happens? Something like that happens. Like,
I didn't put no devil in their head. They was small anyway. But I do learn that a child he get out and he go ahead and kill you because it was always on his mind. He said he can do that and get away with it. But I didn't talk no violence into him. But I'd get him or nothing like that. I just never talked that kind of stuff to him.
In your opinion, of all the kids that were there, who do you think was devastated the most by it?
The older one, because the little one didn't know too much. They just, Nina up, because they were too small. Because they were kind of hurt by, that idea you little and your mama died.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember them words Nina said when I was up at the casket. I was taking them one by one to take them up there and put the hand on and show it so they would be scared of dead people. And Nina was about like this, and I picked up with her. And I remember the words she said, I ain't going to never see my mama no more. Mm-hmm. And the other was crying, and I would take them up there. I was working right there with them. I had to be there,
Mm-hmm.
And I would line them up and bring them up there and say, look over there, here's your mama. And I put Lorraine's hand on them.
Lorraine is my other sister.
Yeah. So I just, trying to comfort them, And it was just one of those things, do what you can do while you're there, And I told Sarah I was going to be there and try to do what I can, when I stuck by them,
So you were there for them and you were helping them get over it. What did you do for yourself?
I worked and tried to be there with them. I had the phone number for them, like I was little. Sarah had got to the point they didn't want me down there, but I didn't care. They weren't stopping me. Robert took nothing to come in there one time. I got that 12 gauge. I had another one in. I played with the trunk on the side of the road. After that, they got over that.
You had the tool in the trunk in case somebody wanted to get real.
Oh, yeah. You don't tell me you can't see my tool. No, I ain't studying that trunk. After that, they got over that, I said, hey, I go down. Whenever they all had my number. They could call me and play little games on the phone.
What was, do you remember the guy that shot, what his sentence was?
What?
His sentence. How long was he sentenced?
He did 7 years.
What?
Mm-hmm. He did now. He got out and real wild, and he came out there one day to see him. They all went wild. Mm-hmm. They knew him, they knew him because he'd seen them, little and coming up with them, living with them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They went wild, and the grandparents said, don't bother them, leave them alone, don't treat them like that, But hey, first off, they didn't want to see him coming back around.
Yeah.
But I never did put no devil in their head.
You, I know it's been maybe a couple wives later, but that was your first. You still think about it from time to time?
Yeah, I do. I think about their mama a lot of times. I said, when I get in these marriages and things, we had it not been for Sal, then we'd still probably be together now. See, they didn't, if you're strict about things and do things your way, some people don't like that. And I tell her we're going to move somewhere. They didn't want her to move. They wanted to right there with them, tell her all kind of junk. She was scared to move, which way to go. So I moved out. I got to go. I can't stay here. Y'all ain't tell me what to do. And they thought, Nina, you just like your daddy. You and Lee, y'all just stubborn. They want to tell me what to do too. And I'm my own man. You don't tell me what to do. I want to handle my own business. Well, you got, say you grown and married, you got to family all by yourself, I like telling you what to do. Now, you come to me, we talk about stuff, we discuss it. I ain't going to tell you what to do. I better not catch you doing so-and-so, so-and-so. Well, don't go out there and do so-and-so.
I mean, I would hope that you wouldn't say that to me. And I would respect you, but
when you got ready to go to California, I just, boy, don't go out there, they doing so-and-so, so-and-so. Like when me and Lee went to Florida that time, they tried to talk him. They talked Ron out of it. They talked Lisa. You ain't talking me out of it. I'm going one day. We're going to ride.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope.
When the children, you grow up like as a child, get to a different stage, you change. You see how we're talking now? Because you're no more kid. That's the learning period, discipline and stuff. When you get to a point like that, I test you by yourself, trust you. Like when you're driving. Once you learn to drive, I got in the back seat, and after that, I got out the car. And then I said, I don't want to go so far because you ain't no license. And once you got your license, I put you on the road.
Yeah.
So it's a stage you go through as you go, Now we talk and carry on. I enjoy y'all more because we can talk and communicate. Ain't no bossing. Some people, they wait till the children get grown and try to boss them. Yeah. And that's where the problem running.
Yeah.
Wait till you're grown. And when am I going to get grown? I'm way past 21. You're 30 now, right? Now I like telling you what to do. Boy, I'm going to get me a stick to you. Didn't I tell you to go do so-and-so? That would Blake you that you try to do stuff.
You can't catch me there.
No, no. If I see you doing wrong, I was like I do the rest of mine. I said, Corey, can I talk to you for a minute? Like when I talked to you about hollering at, what name?
Yeah.
I said, Corey, you got to remember, she's somebody's sister too. I said, you wouldn't want about to holler at your sister like that.
But I wasn't hollering at her.
That's what it sounded like. That's why I didn't do it. But
yeah, I wasn't hollering.
You got to talk to her on the phone too, because she would expect me to say it every time.
Well, see, the thing is that she well, I can't.
No.
I was going to say she a Gemini, but I was going to say she a Gemini,
okay, yeah,
but you're a Gemini too, so
it's all right.
So you understand.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: she's a Gemini.
Yeah, funny ways sometimes.
You got to talk to a Gemini.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. I done heard that so many times. That's why I laugh. I can laugh. See, I can laugh. I've been through that. I can laugh at a lot of stuff.
I wasn't hollering at her. I wasn't yelling at her. But there's a certain
you had to get
action.
your point across.
Yeah.
What you mean? What? Because she had probably disappointed you. Some point.
She definitely did this. We were supposed to do something, and she blew it.
And see, I was thinking that I was under the impression that you hollered all the time.
No.
That was the impression. I heard you holler. But I heard you holler that time. I said, Corey, don't do that. And you cool now, if you didn't do it in front of me.
I was more conscious of it after that, and I'd made a vow that.
But I didn't want to go scolding you like that.
Right,
Corey.
right.
Like Laura, she said, one thing about you, said, Mom used to holler at, but you always call her or talk to us, You'd be surprised how you can reach a person more like that.
Yeah.
Like my mama, how easy she talk. That way with me. So if I see you wrong, I said, no, Corey. At the time when I told Dee I want to talk to her, and you got her back on the phone, and I said, Dee? Like that, I talk to her. That way I do all of them.
For those listening, Dee is one of my other sisters. I have 5 sisters and 4 brothers, so it's a lot of us. But one of the things I heard, I think it was some sports show I was listening to, and it was a guy. He used to coach the Jets named Herm Edwards, and he said when he would coach his guys, his team, he said there's a way that you reach people. He said when you go in the room, guns blazing and yelling. He said, it's crazy, but the louder you talk to people, the less they'll hear you. He said, when you go to them and you talk to them in a low, calm tone, they hear every word you say.
You speak softly and carry a big stick. A lot of people are looking at the physical stick. You first establish, you set the tone. Because you can go in a classroom and they don't respect you if you don't carry yourself the right way.
Yeah.
And then you go in there, when you walk in that room, they know it's a classroom, everybody get quiet. But if you don't carry that, set that tone in the beginning, it ain't there. Like when I transfer from one prison to the other one, halfway out, I sit there and observe, look at everybody. Finally, when the guy said, okay, your turn to take over, I go out there to the uniform meeting. I said, good afternoon, man. I said, a lot of you don't know me. I'm off the Gresham. I said, now, here's what I'm about. I said, I'm going to turn around, do a 360-degree circle here. I want each one of y'all to look at me good to see if you see Toys R Us written on me. And I started turning around slowly. They said, "No, sir." I said, "Damn it, I can't hear you." "No, sir. No, sir." After that, one dude said, "Man, you scared the hell out of us. I thought you were going to be the meanest something in there." He said, "But you turn all right. That's before you get their attention. In other words, don't play no games with me. I'm here to see that you do your time and get you what you need. I don't need no games." And I said another thing. I thought you got some bullshit proof. I said I knew every one of y'all name before I knew your game. I knew your game before I knew your name. I started rattling that stuff off. And I said, last but not least, I'm 9 to 5. Damn it, you 10 to 20. You got that? You had no problem on it.
Yeah.
And then you come on down, you talk to them,
I remember going there with you as a kid, and one of the things I noticed is the inmates had a tremendous amount of respect for you. And I would not really know anything about it. I'd go outside and play ball with them, shoot.
But you knew
I didn't have any issues.
That was at the halfway house.
Yeah. I didn't have any issues, and I think when you saw me out there playing, I think just naturally as a father, you were kind of like nervous because he out there with inmates.
You don't know what half of mine is about.
Exactly, but from what I saw, they had a tremendous amount of respect for you because even though they were in there for whatever it was they did.
If they respect you have no problem.
And you treated them like people.
And I go downtown and I ran across that guy. He took us in there. I don't care what they can do, the biggest crime in the world, and they get in prison. And you treat them with respect, you have no problem. Yep. I used to take them to the store. My bus be full. And I said, I'm gonna tell you something now. I always had something for them. If you ain't got no receipt, you stole it. I said, you ain't got no receipt, come and get me. They go in there, I ain't got no receipt. Go back over to the counter. They come out, they show me the receipt. Okay, on the bus. I said, no, I'm not going to be following you around and see who you talk to in the store. I ain't like that. You might see me walking down through. I'm looking at different things too. I said, but I'm not going to be breathing down your neck. Some of them go in there, stacking up at this sack in front of the girl, trying to impress them. No, I don't do that. And see, the man, he give us a little freedom. And I said, now, you get back on the bus and you know you ain't supposed to have this, that's on you. But you let them know up front. Like when I used to go out there and pick the trustees up at the governor's mansion. On Fridays, I pick them up, and they never was no problem. They said, well, gee, can we go the scenic route? I said, on one condition. You can look all you want, do not holler out the window. Okay? No hollering out the window. I said, if you holler out the window and some woman get molested and talk about that, I'm stopping and the man gonna get you. I'm pointing you out. I said, then we won't have no more. So I take them all down through town, right where the beating with them pretty women walking around in the short. I said, they be, ooh, look at you. As long as you don't holler out that window. Waving out the window at them. If you wave, you wave as long as you're in the window. Keep your hands in the window. I take them down through there. I said, when you get back to the company, you can tell them what we did if you want to. It's all right. A lot of them, you took us on, so they don't let you select there, like, gonna get me in trouble. And you can't get me in no trouble. I said, I'm just letting you know, if you won't have no more.
Yeah.
We did this on so. You want to go and tell him, man, check them out. It wasn't no big deal. I could go the way I wanted to go. I was driving the bus. But some of them would come back and tell stuff, What you did so, and they hold that, like the one thing where you are at. He come at me when they want to question me like a detective. Did at one time you do so-and-so? Look, don't come at me with no childish man like that. I said, they came to me one Saturday night and if they get an order pizza. I said, get your money together. I want to pay the man when he comes. I did that. Well, it might have been some dope in it. I said, I'll tell you what, you handle from now on. He want me to call him at home and after it's okay. I don't play that with Saul. You left me in charge. After either want to be in charge or I go home. He wanted to be one of them to tell you what to do and all that dominating stuff. No. Well, they tell me everything. Didn't they call you at home and tell you this stuff? Yeah, I know that was a lie right there, but you don't play me crazy stuff, and I don't play that. We used to give them the argument. I let them up straight. You deal with me like a man. You got to straighten them out.
Yeah.
You're going to question. If I'm going to leave you in charge, I'm going to leave you in charge. I might come in and say, what went down? Get your briefing. But all that, inmates say you did so-and-so. If anybody got hurt or killed, I ain't got to ask you that.
Yeah.
See, but he going to run that game. Look, we both be officers. He treat us like we inmates. Which one is it? I got this. They got serial numbers. I don't. Now, what's the deal? Which one is wearing the badge, me or them? And they coming at me like I'm an inmate.
Yeah.
I let him know up front,
Didn't know where you was coming from.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I'm going to change gears a little bit. So you got 9 kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of us.
Yeah.
It means it's...
Baseball team to go.
you got a basketball team and a bench. Basically. 5 starters, 4 people on the bench.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I don't know nothing about it, but whatever you say is fine with me.
Okay, all right. So there was something, obviously, about each one of us. Maybe it was something funny that each one of us did.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of something funny for each one of us that we did, or the way we act, or something about our personalities?
Yeah, because I think about y'all a lot of times, this stuff.
All right, so do me last.
Do you laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee, that time when...
Hold on. Lee is my oldest brother. Yeah. So he's the one that he's the nut. No. But no, that's Big Brother. Yeah, so everybody look up to Big Brother.
I would go out there and Sailor would give me a report on when they're being bad or something. So Lee been older, he liked mechanical stuff. Mm-hmm. He would go down to Maryland and mess with that acetylene stuff. Mm-hmm. He didn't know what he was doing, acetylene stuff. Mm-hmm. And Mary told him he didn't want to mess with it, because he'd been blowed up something. That's what they thought. Lee was to mess with it because he was interested in it.
Yeah.
So I came right there and said, okay, Lee, come here. So he took off running, went down a little dirt road down there. Mm-hmm. And I took it. He said, oh, Lee, you going to get it. Because I hooked him all about something. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lee, you going to get it running. I said, leave him alone. I took off running behind him. You have to use different techniques for him. Mm-hmm. So a little old barbed wire fence, about that high, he jumped it. Mm-hmm. And he figured, he looked back, he thought, well, I got him here. He can't jump the fence. Or by the time I do get over it, he gone.
Yeah.
When he jumped and turned around and looked over, I was in the air coming over the fence too. He's like, he sat down right there on the bench, the little berm right there, we sat down there. And I looked at him, I sat beside him, I said, what's up? he said, I didn't think you could do it. I said, don't ever underestimate me. I was still young too. Mm-hmm. I said, don't ever underestimate me. And then I talked to him about that stuff down there.
So you didn't whoop him?
No. Sometimes you can do things you don't have to whoop him.
The fear in his face was enough for you?
Yeah. If he's feeling, you don't give him no heart attack. No, it just say the technique you use. Mm. Like this white guy said he used to be getting caught smoking. Mm-hmm. And so the old man said, let me handle it. He took the boys out in the back of the barn, gave all of them a cigar. Mm-hmm. And he smoked a cigar. He lit his up, lit theirs up, so I let smoke. That's the best teacher. You ain't got to go to whooping. They get the coughing going on and stuff up and going on. You're going to smoke that. Mm-hmm. He do the best he can. He start hollering, begging to leave it, take it off of him. Yeah, you ain't got to, you remember no cigar. No, I think it was still his cigar. He smoked his, he enjoyed it. All right, smoke a cigar. He lit it up for him and everything. Don't waste my cigar. You scared to death. You got to smoke it, But I didn't do it. Just a little technique I learned from that.
With all the boys you had, how did you control, like, fighting? Or did you...
They wasn't that much trouble, to be honest with you. Lee and Ron would get into something. Another little thing. They were little then, mm-hmm. and they were in the same bed together. Mm-hmm. Ron always the devil. Bam! He hit Lee. Lee hit him back. Their mama said, go in there and whoop him. I said, no, don't whoop him. Well, they're going to keep them. No, they ain't. Just be cool. I told her, one going to get there a little harder than he intended, and they're going to both go to sleep. Ron, let's mess with Lee. Bam, like you do a Lee on him.
Yeah.
Bam! Hit him back. Finally, pow! I heard Ron. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. 5 minutes later, both of them were asleep.
Lee hit Ron super hard, and that was it. That was a wrap. Big brother took over.
Ron was asleep. Mm-hmm. Lorraine, she was all right, but when I get ready to whoop her, Sal stepped in, because she's the oldest one, and I backed off,
How did you handle disciplining the women, the girls, versus your boys?
I would just, all I had to do was spank them a couple times. That Dee didn't know out there playing one day, and she was saying a little bad word, they held a friend said, I sneaked up on it. Mm-hmm. Actually, Nina didn't get no whoop until she got 18. Laura ran all around it because she between them all, she was spoiled. And it took a lot for her, but because, really, to be honest with you, Oh, you ain't gonna believe it, but you the only one that give me more trouble than the rest of them.
What?
You?
No! First of all,
I said, have you ever seen me mad? He said, no.
No, I didn't give you.
I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna explain it. It wasn't like as severe as what it was.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go on down like you said. Nina was 18. She got, well, her mama dead then, and she would get smart with him, and she would get the salad in trouble. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to talk to her, and she got smart with me. And I slapped about 2 or 3 good times. And last time Laura grabbed her, girl, you know not to talk back to him. I ain't had no more trouble out of her. And Sally, she got smart about something. I slammed her in the living room floor. She was kind of talking, wham, bam, like that, right on the floor. And I said, who you think you talking to? She just said that. Got up, man, no problem out here. It's the little fear. You know, I didn't want to scare them like they always tell
me. No, you wasn't hurting them, but it was just enough to scare them.
See, the old people had a thing about, Johnny, he gonna whoop you. And it got to me. I didn't want my children to, every time they see me, I'm finna whoop them. Mm-hmm. So I would come down there, and I'd play little games with them, you know, and play with them and spend time with them. That way they get to know you, except for that point, you know.
Yeah.
So Didi, she wanted something to show you big. And I said, no, I ain't gonna be able to give you that, you know. And she said, well, skip it. I got in the car and went down there. So I said, how y'all doing? Where Didi? Come here, Didi. What you mean you skip it? Everybody back.
You got in the car like right after that?
With the lumper from the kingdom. I always tried to be there for them and everything.
Yeah.
I whooped that drive. Now, the second way I whooped that driveway, they knew I meant business. If I just ease on it like somebody was saying, everything cool. I whooped in there that day, Lorraine. Who finna get a whooping? I got out there. How y'all doing? I said, where Didi? Didi? Daddy wants you. Mm-hmm. Come here. What you mean, skip it? Who you think you talking to? Mm-hmm. I got on her case real good, but what you mean, skip it? You don't tell me no mess like that. And I had to, just talk to him. I didn't have to hit her. Mm-hmm. But when I come down there, that was scary enough. Once you get that little fear, you have to remain on that same thing. You know, you can joke with them, but still, they know where that line is.
Yeah.
We could talk all kind of junk. But if you get mad, just, hey, that's Pop right there. I can't go with you so far.
Right.
Mickey didn't tell you that right now. Say, hey, he in better shape, but that's Pop. You don't get past Pop now. Mm-hmm. He said, if I spoke to that, hey, and one day, that's established, you can talk to him. Like when his grandma would die, he would die, with a suit on, but with tie on. Mm-hmm. I said, Mickey, why don't you put your tie on? Did you got one? Yeah. He said, I don't like wearing ties. I said, I understand. I said, I don't either. I said, it's just a matter of respect. He went and got him old tie and put on. He said, well, I said, well, it's something, to show that you got to tie and respect, Mm-hmm. And after that, he said, you can take it off. I'm going to take mine off. I had to blend it. But I didn't, well, get you a tie on, like that. You don't do that.
And be kids
and
like
I
that.
talk with all of them that same way. I talked to, Bonnie. I had to whoop her a few times. She would get the little habit like a mama. And she gets stubborn. And see, her mama was petting her. And she go in there and go to bed. When I talk to her, they know what I mean business. Mm-hmm. So, but you didn't have to do this whooping all the time. It's just certain times they know you can mean business, you mean it. So she could be talking to Bunny when she was little. I look at the Bunny on so. Then she told me, take a man,
Mm-hmm.
Cause we were at the church one Sunday, and there was Bunny with her friend. They were a little back and forth, in and out, crossing people. So the last time, Carol and Sappin and told them were going out, and I looked over that Bunny. The preacher was free. He saw me smile. Mm-hmm. Looked at me, turned, went back and sit down. I didn't have to say nothing. That's all I did. Mm-hmm. She went back and sit down. I talked to her and I got outside. I said, Carol, them children be running in and out like that. Y'all, you're going to go to church, you're going to sit down and listen to what the preacher's saying. And we just running back and forth. You ain't going to be going doing it. They want to run it, let them do it. You sit somewhere else. Like back in the day, the old folks make you sit between them.
Yeah.
You ain't going nowhere then. Uh-huh. May, we were little, grandma, we went on somewhere. May had to act in the food.
May is my dad's sister. That's my aunt.
Yeah. Grandma said, May, come up here. She put it in the middle with them. We were in trouble, her and granddad. Yeah. So, but other than on down the line there,
I think it's on me, right?
yeah, you. You a little devil, little spoiled brat.
I was spoiled brat.
You little silly thing.
I was not a spoiled brat. All right, I'm gonna let you tell. I'm gonna let you tell.
Your mama was the only child, and you was my youngest one.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So you did a lot of little silly stuff.
I was privileged.
Yeah, you did a lot of little silly stuff.
Okay, all right. Talk to
on
me.
my behalf because I used to tell you about Humpty Dumpty was pushed and everything, and when I bought them eggs, you were there cracking them on the floor, dropping to see if he was.
So here's my thing, right? So we'd have this debate every other day about Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall. You know the nursery rhyme.
Playing with you, yeah.
Right. So nursery rhyme, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, had a great fall. Mm-hmm. And so you would tell me, Humpty Dumpty.
I believe Humpty Dumpty was pushed.
All right, so you can't
talking back and forth.
And so I would tell you, no, Humpty Dumpty wasn't pushed because they ain't said nothing about Humpty Dumpty being pushed. He had a great fall. He
who pushed him? He didn't just fall, when then we were talking about the egg on the child, That little somebody was playing with it by.
So
your mama had a really bad egg by the cake, because she cooked a lot of cakes and stuff. I'm glad it wasn't on no carpet.
I remember because I needed to see for myself whether these eggs would fall off the counter or did I need to push them off the counter.
And I heard you, I tipped right now, I saw you, I said, no, come here. I went down there and got her. And she said, go ahead, put them egg down. You jump, It was a joke, but I had to clean it up. You don't clean the egg up that easy.
Here's what I learned from that.
You wanted to see.
Humpty Dumpty failed. He wasn't pushed.
You would not.
Because I didn't push them eggs.
You didn't put it that it fall. And you broke about a little over a dozen.
Because
I kept hearing something. Pickle.
I needed to be sure.
Just like, pickle. I kept hearing something. To what car? If I now look around what car, you done sneaked around. You down. You got to watch your children. At the refrigerator open, I saw the light. Oh man, you get out the refrigerator. Pickle. I looked and I saw you. You just dropping them. I went back and got your mama. Come here. I wanted to say that. I want her to see this. Come on, put me down. She got loose on you. Yeah, you done a lot of little silly stuff. The only worst thing I hate when I had to whip you at the end of the garage. That was the only thing.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to set the stage. I'm going to give my side of the story.
Okay.
Because I've told people this story before.
We get set up now.
All right, so.
Everyone of y'all did something silly.
So here's what happened.
But I want to tell you about the silly stuff first,
All right, so with this particular incident, I remember it was over my bicycle. I rode my bike, went next door. The guy ran over my bike. At this point, I'm having a bad day. All right, so I come back and you see the bike bent, and you say, "Go back over there and get him." And I'm like, "I can't get him because he's gone." And so now you having a bad day because the bike ran over. I think you believe
in the middle of the driveway.
I'm already not wanting to deal with this, so I'm probably not in the best of moods because I'm not having a good day. So I think at that point you took it as, oh, he's about to get smart me or whatever the case. I don't know. I don't want to presume what you were thinking, but I know I was upset and you was upset.
Yeah, I was mad with the joker ran over because he should have looked back that way. I wanted to talk to him.
But how did I end up getting the whoop?
You didn't want to go back to get the bicycle.
The bicycle was bent.
Yeah, but I told you to go get it. You didn't want to go back over there to get it. You go, I ain't going to get the bicycle. I got that switch. It was about this big around, but it was long. I'm whooping you. We should have took the whooping when I'm about to finish.
But hold on. So here was the thing, right? Here's the thing. So you I'm 17. I'll never forget it because I realized at this point, I think I was 17. I was 17, 8. Yeah, I had to be 17. Because I remember, I was 17, 8. I wasn't no older than 18.
You wasn't near that.
No, so I had to be 17.
So you ran about
16, 17, somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere along there.
But I remember because I remember thinking, I have some size on me. This is my mindset. This is my mindset, right?
Your little friend, that peer pressure thing.
No, it wasn't that. But this is my thing.
Yeah, you had some size on
I had some size. I was about 6'1", 6'2". I felt like I was bigger, faster, and stronger. So I felt like at this point, all right, well, I'm not about to just get a whooping. Yeah. So you said to me, you was like, turn around, because I think you had to switch with the yardstick, whatever the case. And I already fixed it myself. I was like, nah, it ain't going down like that today, partner. So wait. So I bought him. I brought up my fist.
You let me off the hook.
And you said, I'm trying not to laugh. Because it's funny. That wasn't funny.
Well, it's okay now.
I brought up my fist. And you looked at me. Do you remember what you said when I brought up my fist?
So you want let me off the hook or something?
You was like, oh, okay. So you took your stick and you put your stick down. You took your stick. You threw your stick down. You was like, oh, this is what you want to do? Oh, okay. So he was like, okay, come on. So this is my mindset. My mindset was, okay, I know I got to swing first. I'm taking what I'm thinking. I'm like, I know I got to swing first. I said, because if I hit him, he knocked out and it's a wrap.
Yeah.
He's done. And I proved my point. But I also knew if I swung and I missed,
it was over.
What nothing I could do. So what I do, I swing and I miss. Now, here's what I remember. I remember 3 things. And I'm pretty sure a lot of things happened in between these blanks.
It's okay. We're talking.
I swung and everything happened in flashes. I swung, you flash, you grab me. Flash, I'm on top of the washing machine. Flash, I'm getting whooped. Now, here's my thing. Here's what I believe. I don't believe you was giving 100% of your effort.
I wouldn't. I didn't want to hurt you.
Okay.
I was mad, but I was told never hit a child when you're mad.
Yeah.
But you got to moving and wiggling so much, I had to grab you in a way to hold you.
Yeah, you did.
I could have hit you with my fist. I'd have told you.
I mean, it was enough.
But every time I grab you, I just throw you somewhere. I throw you on the washing machine. That was enough. I snatched you off there, had you by your neck, and throw you somewhere else. Oh, that garage, Cody looked at what the world happened here? Then the last time he was in the house, I was sitting you up on the bed, and I swung at you, and you moved back. That's when my arm came out of the socket.
Yeah, you swung, and I jumped because I was
back, yeah. And I said, I'm gonna raise you, kill you one.
Because what you forgot was I was an athlete.
Yeah, and I my nightstick. You thought I was going to get a gun.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to use that stick that I had taught you, but I had that nightstick. Now I was going to put it on you, but I couldn't do too much with this arm, and I had to swing with this one. You grabbed something, your books and stuff, and took off next door.
Yeah, I was gone because I was scared. I
never saw that garage. What in the world happened here?
I didn't know what happened.
Then I told your sisters and brothers about it. They said, what? That boy crazy.
The thing, here's what I learned about it. One, I'll never be bigger, faster, and stronger than you because you was 60-something-year-old man and the way you was moving.
Yeah.
Let me know that you still had it.
So you slip off, and I tell you, I had to teach you about that. Coming in the house like that. So naturally, the man go through the house. You want to make sure everything's okay. And I go down there, the door wasn't locked.
Yeah.
Sneaked out. You come back in, you lost your key. So I had to just, at some point, I had to get nasty, which
Yeah.
I said, well, when you come back, you didn't want to finish school, and I had to get nasty about that. I wasn't going to just send you out in the world by yourself or nothing. I had that in my mind too, but you didn't want to go live with your mama. I thought I'm going to send them over there. I said, when you come back through these doors, you better have it together. And apparently it's stuck,
Yeah.
You had to get out to where you had to think about that stuff,
Yeah.
That's dad.
Yeah.
And then I used the children in it to get on, so I had to get on him. And they gonna join you, that's enough to hurt you right there. And they said, that boy crazy. You don't go up against that salad. You don't go up against that man. But at some point you have to teach a child who's, I didn't, a man with a child he cared for him, he want to let him know that he means business. But when I look at you, I said, no, I don't want to break you up and then hurt you. When I looked at you, even though you were tall, you were like you were small to me. And I looked at all I did was grab your neck, and I didn't squeeze, I just wanted to hold you. Because the stuff I knew, I could have put you out the misery a long time ago.
Yeah, I know.
I could have caught your arm a certain way and twisted you, been down on the floor, I'm mopping it. But, so you got a lot to look at being a parent. You want to get to him, but you don't want to just break him all to pieces to get the message.
Right.
But I think I did just enough.
Oh, I mean, you definitely got your point across.
Children growing up, I think the boys, they see other children, they get to a point, they figure, well, hey, I'm just as big as him, and I can do this. It's like when you're in league, by him being big, you that big too, and him being your brother, he just tussle with you, It got to him too. I had to call him off for you. You were mad, because he said he never should have got to that point.
Yeah.
He didn't like, the way you disrespect him with his dad, He said, I hope they can't do anything to me because I'm your brother. I said, all right, leave back off.
Yeah.
I think he got the message.
Yeah.
But they joined you a while, that got him, they let you know, hey, They said, no, Lee big as he was his dog. He can't have him daddy. Mickey is old. They said, daddy in good shape. Because Mickey was Lee was 18.
Mm-hmm.
He was in high school. He said, dog, I'm 18 and you in better shape than I am. Well, once you get in shape, you do your stuff, and you stay in shape.
Did you ever learn anything from us? Did
A
we
lot
ever
of stuff.
like what?
You learn from your children. You teach them stuff when they grow. You learn from them. I learned a lot from leading because they were playing back and forth with white children. But when I come up, it was straight prejudice. We couldn't do no dealing with the whites at all except go work for them.
Mm-hmm.
And by y'all having your friends and everything, I couldn't go in there like they did. Still don't mess with that so and so. I didn't do that. I said I'm not going to interfere with that. But I learned how not to be. But see, when I come, I look at one like he got to go. So that was in me from coming up. They didn't have no dealing with us, and we didn't have none with them. But you learn from each way, And I learned how to deal with them and, treat them like people. Unless they do something wrong, I learned you don't hate a person because of his color.
Mm-hmm.
Because we was being back that day, we were kind of didn't care. What got me really changed prior to that, me and my partner, right during the integration, start turning, we didn't care to make a white vote. But what happened, we were coming through Decatur, and right there at the depot, this car, little small car, white guy and his son, they were spinning, the train was coming, we were way down there, It was coming. And they were trying to get the car to track. It was spinning on the track. Wouldn't get no track in the push. We jumped out of our car, my car, run up there and hit the push the guy off the track. I got back to my car. You know that dude was white. He looked around. He said, "Dog, yeah, he was white, wasn't he?"
But it didn't matter at that point.
I didn't. It went away. I said, "Now I don't want him to help me." He had a little small car, a little Fiat or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we got two of us and pushed it because it was spinning on the track. There wasn't no traction. And he trying to get off the track. And we got a shove and he took off, But at some point, you got to realize, I don't care how precious they get, you let it go. Sometimes I can put them in line when they start out to hold up, bro. I'm not your slave. Because see, with me, what I've been through and stuff, it's like 400 years to come back. But after they make, when I look at it, I don't think that. But when they piss you off, trying to boss you around like they did back in the day, see, they instill a lot of that stuff in their children. And some of them, the younger ones, you don't have that much problem. A lot of my age and stuff, you got a little new up front.
All right, so right now we're going. It seems like like they say, nothing new under the sun, and we going through a trying period now. Excuse me, for race relations. But I know that you spent a lot of time trying to make sure that we were aware. But there's a fine line between doing that and turning your kids racist. But you didn't. How did you it was so masterful the way you did it. How would you come up with the words, or how did you go about teaching us awareness without hindering our progress as a younger society?
Like I used to teach when I first moved over there, where we're at. I said, Cora, I'm not trying to make you prejudiced. I just want to make you aware. I said, blacks are moving in the neighborhood and whites they're not ready to accept it, they're moving out. And I said, well, everybody's the same. But I would always tell you in such a way, I said, things are different now. Like when Lee first got married to Sean, Adam thought, oh boy, your daddy gonna get you. He was expecting me to talk to him. I called, I went down and said, Lee, let's talk. I had talked to some friend of mine about it. A Puerto Rican guy who talked to him. He said, no, just give him a talk and see where you're coming from. So I called Lee, and so we met down there in Lawrenceville. I said, I need to talk to you. He said, I was expecting it. We sat and talked. And so I drove. I didn't go out there where I sat. I said, let's go for a ride. Went over there in Lawrenceville. We sat there and talked a long time. We doing that. And I said, what about the marriage situation? At the end, I asked that. We were just talking, I said, well, you're a grown man. And I explained that things are different now than it was when I was coming up. And I said, now, you know who you want to marry. She accept you, you accept her. And we talking and laughing, kicking and talking. He said, well, I expect you to talk to him. I said, yeah, but it wasn't like you thought it was. We were just talking. So at the end, I said, I just got one more thing. I said, it's interracial marriage. I said, well, I ain't got to bring my 12 gauge to the wedding. He said, no, she got you as many blacks in her family as we got. I said, I'm through with that. And trying to find out her mama little black man. But, I was just joking with him about that, because what I was telling him was, I care just as much for my children as they do theirs.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes with some stuff there, I just want to know if I can bring one.
I think one of the things that you said in terms of interracial dating that stuck with me is you told me, you said, what did you say? You said, you told me, you said, the color milk you drink ain't got nothing to do with my cereal.
It ain't. You can put chocolate milk in your cereal.
Mm-hmm.
You like it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And see, like my grandma, I don't choose my children's friend. And when you go to integrated schools, you're going to have black and white friends. Some going to hit it off, some ain't. They had a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to get into that, but I wasn't going to go down and turn y'all against them. Like a lot of them did. We playing football and stuff with the white kids before they come there and run us off. But just because they look at the color of your skin. What happened back then, a lot of us slaves, and when they got freed and left the plantation, a lot of the white people got mad because they didn't have anybody to farm their property, crops and stuff. And then they formed the Klan to try to scale them back to the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been fighting it ever since. They try to hold you back in a lot of ways. But when you got God up there, he knows how to get the thing going. It's a slow process. But if we get these young ones to stand up and get educated enough and not hang on the corner like that and be about something, a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen. See, because if you carry yourself the right way and not hang out like that, then the police would have no reason to do that. You see, a lot of them want to get with their gang, that peer pressure, advance on the man. You got to look at, he's a policeman true enough, but he got to protect himself. His job is to go out there and try to uphold the law. But then you got a lot of white. They got it in them anyway, because a lot of them join the police force just for that. They can be covered when they kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point, they don't stop it. People going to start fighting back. And that's going to be all a different cause rather than the protest. They're going to say, to hell with you protesting and start fighting back. And that's what you don't want.
Right.
Like that movie when Jim Brown played them back, tick, tick, tick.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy wanted a job. And he says, well, why do you want to work for the sheriff's department? Well, they've been beating on our head for the long. He said, that's no good to come of that. You know, but the race right. So he said, no, you got to be straight up. So when he went and asked for the help, they didn't like it at first, but then he wanted to turn them guys around, keep them coming to town. They all joined hands. It's the way you do stuff.
Do you ever worry about, because you get angry just like I get angry about some things, and I know for me, I worry more about coming off as the angry black dude because I recognize my size.
And the way they look at you, they portray you that because you're black and you're big. And they always say we're belligerent and loud. They don't seem to think that we got education and can sit down and talk like they do. And when they piss you off, that's the first thing they say. They got attitude, but when you show them differently,
Yeah.
they look, I'm big in stature, but I got a brain.
Mm-hmm.
They're like that movie Red Tails when he told that guy, you this. But he got Duke and Jokers. You can't fight all the time. You can win some fights with a fist fight. But against all of them, and they're all the same army. He said, look, man, we talk. We all in this thing together. You join, I join. We all in this thing together. Why don't we pull together? But they finally got that recognition by taking them bombers over there and coming back. And Joker asked for them. So you got to cut your own way and let them know that you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like, say if I'm a mechanic, I get kicked around a lot on the job. They promoting people. You're still a mechanic, like I told Nina. It don't take nothing away from what you know.
Right.
If you're a darn good mechanic, you still one, even though they promote you or not. They're going to have to come to you and ask you certain things. You know the books and everything. They're going to say, well, the minute you try to leave there and go somewhere else, hey, wait a minute, hold it. They might up your pay or something. You say, well, why are you leaving? First off, I've been passed over. But we need a good mechanic. I can understand that. But hey, let me teach somebody something. Or let me, the other guy don't know near as much as I do, but he's up there. Now, so I like doing work in here, but I like to work people in a different way. But a lot of them, they can't accept the fact that you're over them.
Right.
That's the whole deal. A lot of them can't. But in the say they'll try to pick a fight with you to try to get you busted. But they still don't take nothing up here.
Is there anything in the past that you wish you would have done differently, or that you would have just done differently?
As I think about it, but you're a little older, but see, as you're young stage, you don't think that way. But when I first came out to say I was snapped like a snap bean, I jumped it. But as you get older, you stop and you think and regroup. He was like this dude I'll take about out on the job. I just stay away from him because I know how he is. Everybody know how he is. So why should I be the one to put my foot in his tail? Sit back with the young dude, like a dude told one for folks, says, they do that. Don't worry about it. They're gonna run across somebody else out there younger with the same attitude.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, you're intelligent by just letting him have his way. He's gonna eventually run into somebody. He older guy, and he's gonna realize that you can't do that. And some of them they just stubborn and they don't wanna change. But it's gonna get to that point. And so I just steal my bus, drive, and do what I come here to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can work along beside him. I don't have to sit down to him, but I can work right beside him. As long as I'm doing my job. I ain't got to look and say, hey man, you're doing that wrong. I'm doing mine. I don't want to look at you doing this wrong. You're messing up. And they messing up all the time because they're looking at you. You be doing your job. You can sit right beside him. I didn't think that was possible. You can sit right beside me. We don't have to know each other or nothing. My job is this. My job playing in here. Time to go. I get up and go. Ain't nothing. Hey, you leaving too early? No. You do yours, I'm doing mine. You do you, I'm doing mine.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But you learn as you go. I wish there were a lot of things I could change that I did, but you don't think that way at times. As you get older, you think about these things. You change as you get older.
Is there anything in particular that stands out to you that you would have done differently?
As far as attitude or
anything,
I could have went to school. I wish I had the money back then to go to school and get into something higher. That's why I was always into book trying to learn what I could.
Yeah, that's interesting because you, for some, you've learned I can go down the list of your occupations. Like you a mechanic, heating and air conditioning, locksmith, notary. What else you do?
A lot of stuff.
You were security. You work security for Zoo Atlanta. You work security for banks. You were a you're a retired corrections officer, Army veteran.
Yep.
Am I missing anything? A father, photographer, right? It's all kind of stuff oh yeah, that's right. You draw. You're an artist.
Small engine mechanic.
Yeah, so it's like.
It's stuff that you want to do that you weren't able to do back in the day.
You definitely
got an opportunity to do it, and I want you to do it.
Took it. Oh, and you build birdhouses.
Yeah. I didn't have the money to go to school. Mom used to tell us, y'all understood that there wasn't no money there. We understood. That's why we didn't pressure you. It wasn't there, but I wanted to make sure y'all get it. You took it upon yourself to drop out of school to help take care of me and
your mom and your sister.
Mom and dad was dead. He died when I was 10. And mom was struggling, trying to make it working 2 or 3 days a week at these houses. Wasn't no money to put up through school. So we asked mom if she would let us drop out of school, and we promised her we'd get our GED. And we did. And we put the cow through school and got her because she dropped out. So we did that. But it was just a load on mama. Yeah. And a lot of stuff we were going to miss out on. Wasn't no work. I couldn't find them but cutting grass. And you get in high school, you got to pay for certain things and do this stuff. I wanted to wear nice clothes like they did. So when I got a job and started working, I started buying clothes within my system. But I had always wanted to have education and I could do something. But I didn't let it stop me. When I did get what I could, I went out to tech. And after I got out of service, I took up little courses and everything, and I started from there. And I started the home study courses. I said, now, I get in there and I said, hey, studied on a long time. So I started studying. And that's how I got a lot of stuff going. You want to do something. I used that Abraham Lincoln technique. He did a lot of studying because he wanted to be, and look where he ended up being a president. But you can start right there anywhere and set your mind to that. And you can do anything you want to do. And you be anything you want to be if you just stop and decide this is what I want to do. That's how I got to the point I got. If I wanted to be a locksmith, it was interesting to me. I got into that. I started doing something else. The Gemini, one thing about them, once they get something under their belt and they get it down good, you're bored until you want to learn something new. All
right, that's the last positive thing we're going to say about Geminis on this podcast. 'Cause I ain't a big fan of Geminis. You're the greatest Gemini that I know.
Well, that's what they told me. No, other they got this thing that Gemini this, Gemini that.
I mean,
you get to know them.
Y'all kind of, There's a couple of y'all. You got.
I'm one. Every Gemini is different. Now, when I feel that little mood coming on.
Oh, so you do feel it. You do feel it.
Yeah, every Gemini know it. Just like everybody has a certain mood that come on. The little thing can tick you off.
Yeah.
I stay away from people because I be done said the wrong thing to them. And then you get to go back and apologize.
You heard it here from a Gemini. Like, so y'all stop playing. Y'all know it's a bunch of y'all here.
You heard this little phrase, know thyself?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't admit it. Everybody had a mood to hit them sometime. And like we can be talking and all of a sudden I have something else on my mind at the time or just get on a bad mood and zoom. And you know, someone would just say the first thing come out.
But you're conscious enough to kind of remove yourself.
Yeah, I get away from it. Like we do on the joke. We joke all the time and carry on. But on my days when I don't feel like it, I stay on the bus. I get away from it. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. The next day, you got to apologize.
Yeah.
So I said, no, I just stay with it. It wasn't matter if I wasn't feeling too good. And leave it like that. But you get those little moods, not all the time. They are Gemini are moody. Everybody's moody. But they just take one and label the rest of them.
Yeah.
But there are people, you know yourself, you know, and say, okay, this is my day that, what happens, something can tick you off. No, it don't be all this. Something can tick you off. You might drop a biscuit in that one day. And you're upset about something else and you just need somebody to walk up, what the hell you want? You know, you didn't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But I said, well, I have to stop and catch myself. And I said, no, this ain't in out there the car. Let's do something. I'll talk to the car. Can I get back with you on that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to know how to control yourself.
I remember going downstairs in your office and sometimes I would just go through your stuff to see what you had.
Uh-huh.
And I remember seeing that Bill Cosby book, the Fatherhood book. Now, I'd heard a lot about this book.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you had that book.
Yeah.
And I was like, he had this book for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool.
The way you know how he on the show, how you talk to the children, play little games, but he also teaching them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, say for instance, Theo might come upstairs in a bad mood. Say, what the matter, boy? Your hair hurt? You know, just stuff that they get to them, and then you come back later and say, let's talk about it. But you'd be surprised at what you can get from them when you talk to them.
I definitely recognize a lot of Bill Cosby techniques in the way
and I learned a lot. I
up.
read that because it helped a lot with the children, you know. And I would say little joking things to them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that time I called, come here, boy. And Lee started doing the same thing. Come here, boy, because he felt confident I wasn't going to bother him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I would tease with him and joke with him. You play him. Sometimes you have to play a game with a child, even if he's bad, to get his attention about certain things. Like I did with him. I took off running with him.
Mm-hmm.
I let him know he can't outrun me. Like when he got big enough to shoot a gun, he bought a 44. And he was shooting it, and he was kicking up with him. And I had to hold it. We was out there in the woods in the country. I said, instead of swinging like that, bring it down. And when you bring it down, it won't kick too far.
Mm-hmm.
And he started getting good with it. So I had this big put a nickel plate of 357 in my shoulder holster.
Mm-hmm.
He turned around and said, you teaching me, but I ain't seen you do nothing with that. I said, stand over there. I said, bam, bam, all cans up flying everywhere. Boom, boom, boom.
Sharpshooter.
And I looked at him, I put it back. I said, I ain't taught you everything. He looked at them cans, they were flying like everything. I had that thing, I had a 4-inch barrel. See, a lot of I knew about guns, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at that 357, it was hanging there with him. And like a half a brick was faster than what he had. A whole brick, it would do more damage. But by me being practicing everything, I had the ups on him because he was new at it. And them came, them oil filters and things, heavy, flying all over the place. I was boom, boom. So we came back out the woods. I said, did you teach him anything? I said, he learned. But he was shocked because, he was not shocked, but amazed. He thought I had, by me having it now, I'm just teaching him and wasn't doing it. He ain't never seen me do nothing. Mm-hmm. But when I cut loose, he was convinced that he can handle that.
What can you tell us about what you've learned about dealing with the opposite sex in relationships in women?
Every one of them is different. No woman is standardized. Don't even try to figure them out. Don't think that they way. And when you meet one, don't expect her to be like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And just when you think you got them figured out, they deviate on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like trying to run at two kids. When you get to open, they go this way. You and JJ did that to me. I was at y'all at the mall over in South Carolina.
Mhm.
I want to get y'all on grab. By the time you had that opening, women are the same way. Just when you think you got them figured out, they'll tell you, do not figure me. If they think you're trying to figure them out, they'll go a different route. You go buy my outfit just because you think they like it. I don't like that. So when it comes to that, let them pick it out.
How do you handle relationship turmoil? Like, what advice would you give somebody that's going through it in their relationship and they trying to make it work?
Use your head, and if they talking on a subject trying to jam you and you can't win, change the conversation or just agree with them all the time. How you think me and the woman get along? You know, we could be at it.
Yeah.
We just talk. If she rev up like that, I don't say nothing. You remember how when we had dinner, y'all? Talking, I say a little thing, and you get loose like you be joning with them. I wouldn't say nothing. But you don't take no side and join your mama now. No, you just, the women are real, how they say it, they're sensitive and emotional. All of them. I don't care how big they are or how little they are, all emotional. They can change on you in a split second. But what you do is it's like a cat around some rocket chairs. You just have to be careful what you say. Even when you're joking, they might take a joke today, but tomorrow they might not take it. You have to know what it is. One have to be a big sport. It's like children, they get upset. You don't just get upset with them. You have to think ahead of them and just be a sport. Just because they're upset, don't mean you got to get upset. That Quinn got mad about something, jumped in the car and took off. She came back. I said, no, she called back an hour later. Called me. I said, where you at? Remember at the shop or something? Just sitting here. I said, you know what, near a Burger King or McDonald's? Yeah, why? I said, well, bring me a Burger King, I'm hungry. He came back with 2 and some fish pie, and we sat down in the den and ate. I looked at her, I said, I get you time for getting the truck and followed you. I said, I would have, but I can't drive 2 cars. She called her, I would never follow. She didn't want you to follow me and chase after me. No, I ain't doing that. And one time she got mad and sat out on the porch. It was cool. She sat out on the porch late that night. I went there. I shut the door, but I didn't like it. I thought I was going to go to bed. So later on, she come in there and got in the bed. Next day, she was pissed. I went there and picked breakfast. I didn't just pick mine like they would do. I picked breakfast. I was like, breakfast ready? They did, But you have to just think ahead of them.
That's what helps keep the peace?
Yeah. Because see, man, you always have to be the peacekeeper. You try to keep peace, anyway, whether they do it or not. But they get pretty moody about stuff. At least you won't be blaming you for every little thing. So you just have somebody have to have, in that way, somebody have to use common sense.
Okay.
I used to use a little technique on your mama. Arguing about, how she get reading and saying, I said, hold it. What? I said, which one of us officers say, you or me? You, me? Oh, I bust out laughing and walk off. That's a little crazy to break the monotony.
Yeah.
Change the conversation or do something, But if you don't something to really make them mad, just don't say nothing. And when they start accusing doing anything, yeah, you're right. I should have listened to you. They like being right. They ain't always right, but they never wrong.
I hear that.
So you agree with them all the time. Yeah, you're right. The hell would you get them at with? I should have listened to you in the first place.
There you go. Last subject I'm going to bring up. Fatherhood. What advice... Now, one day I'm going to be a father, so it could be for me and anybody. But what advice would you have for someone that's going to be a father?
Learn all you can about fatherhood. And spend a little bit more time with the child if you can, so that you get to know him and he get to know you. You be in his life while they're growing up, and you'll be in his memory forever. Like when you were little, I got you at the first snow. Even though me and your mama were on turn, you were still my child. I come in there to get Corey ready. Me and Corey go out there to play. We played in the snow. Wherever I went, we crossed the water. You ready in the brink with me. We laid in the snow and played. I took you back in and got you warm. All the little things that we did coming up would be there. I'll be in your memory forever.
I remember looking back at it, it was a real simple thing, but I remember when I first got a Nintendo, and I can't remember if it was me or my mom that called you to come hook it up for me. Now, knowing what I knew about them, it was only two little screws, not screws, but two little plugs you put in. You plug it in the wall.
She didn't know how to hook it up. I hooked it up for you.
Right, you came all the way from the other side of town to put them two little plugs in and plug it in the wall and to turn it on, and that was it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that, but you did.
For you. One time, man, I got into it. She gonna have me locked up for child support, and that's what real friends come in at. Tempersome, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
I told her, look, I ain't getting you down to the dime. I don't mind dead cool. It rocked long about 2 weeks. And I was telling Tim about it. And we always talk to each other to get good advice. Mm-hmm. He said, G, I hear what you're saying. He said, now think about it. You ain't hurting Linda. Both of y'all got jobs. Now who you hurting? I said, Corey. He said, go on and give it money. It'll blow over. And I had talked to different people who had a little problem like that. And I said, well, I ain't gonna be able to see my child. I'll do something. Look, don't worry about that. It'll come to. They use the child as a weapon against you because they get mad. They do that. If you got a little kid, they'll use them against you. And I got over that part of it, and it was okay. Same thing with other children. They used to use them against me. I didn't tell them who was right and who was wrong. Mm-hmm. When they got big enough to know, they came to me and sat around and they found out for themselves. So they'll use it. You say, well, I ain't gonna do nothing. Then you hurting Corey. Because if Corey needed anything, I was going to get it from him. You know.
Appreciate it.
Eventually, stuff like that come back. It ain't pay me tomorrow.
Bring it in, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is fun.
And you the best.
Love you, old man.
Yeah, love you too, bro. Okay.
I'd like to thank our guests for coming on today. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, send an email to otap@writeme.com. Follow the conversation on Twitter by searching the hashtag OTAP, that's OTAP, or following us on Twitter at OTAPshow. You can find the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Android users can listen to the podcast on Podcast Republic. Just download the app and search OTAP Show. On behalf of our guest, I'm your host, Corey, and I'll see you back here next week on the Air Podcast, starring you.